Despite the critical and commercial success of Super Mario 64, there wouldn't be a follow-up to it until Super Mario Sunshine released for the Nintendo GameCube in 2002. In terms of sales, Sunshine was only modestly successful, presumably because of the GameCube's low install base, but reviews were extremely positive at the time. Since then, the overall opinion seems to have gone down in recent years, with a ton of criticism towards specific levels and the game's structure in general. Despite that, I still have incredibly fond memories of this game since it was my very first 3D Mario game. With that being said, let's dive into Super Mario Sunshine. Sunshine's story begins with Mario, Princess Peach, and a group of Toads traveling to Isle Delfino for a vacation, but they quickly discover that a doppelganger known as Shadow Mario has been polluting the island with paint-like goop that has caused the shine sprites that protect the island to disappear. As a result of his imposter's actions, Mario is arrested and sentenced to clean up the island with the help of a talking water pack called Flood. Eventually, Shadow Mario kidnaps the princess and reveals that he's Bowser Jr., who wanted to frame Mario to get rid of him, and also believes that Peach is his mother. At this point, Mario's goal is to not only save Isle Delfino by recovering the Shine Sprites, but also to save Princess Peach. Regarding Sunshine's presentation, in general it holds up really well. The graphics are vibrant and a lot of the environments and characters still look great for an early GameCube title. The music is also pretty solid with quite a few catchy songs. There's even a surprising amount of voice work with several fully voiced cutscenes. The voice acting itself is kind of corny, but it shows how ambitious Sunshine was trying to be at the time. Moving on to the gameplay, Sunshine is somewhat similar to Super Mario 64 with a few key differences. Outside of certain moves like punches and long jumps, Mario retains most of his abilities from 64, and some moves, like diving, have been tweaked to be much more useful and versatile as well. He also has several new moves, like the spin jump, and a ton of abilities involving Flood. This multi-purpose water pack is primarily used to spray water at enemies or goop, or to hover in the air for a short time. In certain areas, there are also special nozzles called the Rocket Nozzle and Turbo Nozzle, both of which replace the Hover Nozzle and allow Mario to either launch high into the sky or quickly dash forwards. All of these actions use up water in Flood's tank, but you can refill it in any body of water and also by collecting other nozzles or water bottles dropped by enemies. In certain areas, you can even bring fruit to special eggs to hatch a Yoshi, who has his own set of abilities while being ridden, such as his signature Flutter Jump and spitting fruit juice that can break special barriers or turn enemies into platforms. Regarding the controls, it's surprisingly complicated at first. With more face buttons on the GameCube controller in comparison to the N64's, there's a lot more abilities in this game, including a button to switch to an over-the-shoulder perspective for accurate aiming, and a button to swap between nozzles. Even the analog triggers are used, with different amounts of pressure on the R button affecting whether you shoot water while running or stand still while firing for more precision. Overall, Mario's physics also feel much looser than in 64, but Flood's hover nozzle works well for correcting tight jumps. There's also more control over the camera thanks to having a dedicated control stick for precise camera movement, but it still struggles at times. One way the game attempts to mitigate this is that Mario's silhouette is still visible when something is in the way of the camera. I prefer Mario's faster movement and acceleration in Sunshine in comparison to 64's slower gameplay, and chaining together different types of jumps, dives, and flood abilities is incredibly satisfying. The biggest issue I have with the controls is that the swimming feels oversimplified. The A and B buttons let Mario ascend or descend in the water, and while it's serviceable, it's not as precise as 64's swimming. As someone who grew up with Sunshine, I imagine it would have a steeper learning curve for players who are more familiar with 64 because of how different the physics are. Despite that, I do think Sunshine controls extremely well with enough practice. While the controls hold up for the most part, Sunshine's structure is one of its biggest problems. There are 120 Shine Sprites hidden across the hub area and 7 worlds. The hub area, Delfino Plaza, contains 16 Shine Sprites, including one for collecting 100 coins, and entrances to each world. Each world is divided into 8 episodes with 1 Shine Sprite each, along with 2 additional shines, and one for collecting 100 coins. There are also 240 blue coins hidden around each area, with 30 in each world, 20 in Delfino Plaza, and 10 in the final area. By collecting every blue coin, you can trade them for 24 shine sprites in Delfino Plaza. Despite the game's vacation setting, Sunshine's worlds manage to stand out from each other. Ranging from a haunted resort to a sprawling cliffside, there's a decent amount of variety while still adhering to the tropical atmosphere. Most of the worlds have an overarching narrative as well, such as making sure that the sandbird can hatch in Gelato Beach or clearing out the polluted waters of Noki Bay. This gives the game a more linear feel in comparison to 64, since most episodes have to be completed in a set order. Each world also has at least one secret level that must be completed without FLUDD, and the 7th episode always involves chasing and defeating Shadow Mario. The secret levels also have a bonus challenge to collect 8 red coins with FLUDD, and worlds with only one secret level have a hidden shine sprite that can often be found in most episodes of a world. One of Sunshine's main issues is that the only requirement to unlock the final level and ending is clearing the Shadow Mario episode in each world, so only about 50 shine sprites are required to finish the game. This means that outside of completion, there isn't much of a point to collecting anything past episode 7 or in Delfino Plaza at all. Interestingly, quite a few of the most infamous levels are optional as a result. These range from the Pachinko Machine in Delfino Plaza, the Watermelon Festival in Gelato Beach, and many more. Even the 100 coin shines can be surprisingly difficult, since some episodes don't have enough coins in them. The blue coins are easily among the most criticized aspects of the game, since certain ones can only be obtained in specific episodes with no way to know which ones are exclusive to an episode, or which ones you've already collected without using a guide. At this point, Super Mario Sunshine has never been re-released in any capacity, but I hope it gets a remaster or even a full remake someday. Other than bug fixes, there are a few changes that could really make a difference. Having a way to see which episodes have uncollected blue coins, and some sort of radar would make it much easier to collect them all. I also think the unlock criteria of the final level should be changed to needing a certain amount of shine sprites, since this would incentivize collecting more in each world instead of just a few required ones. Despite all of its flaws, Super Mario Sunshine is still one of my favorite games from my childhood. I'll admit that a lot of my love for the game is because of nostalgia, since I've played this game for 2/3 of my life and know how to work around a lot of its problems as a result. But that doesn't change the fact that there are quite a few aspects that are frustrating, glitchy, or tedious. That being said, I'd still recommend at least trying Sunshine, but not necessarily getting every shine sprite, because of how difficult and unrewarding it can be. There's fun to be had with this game, but I feel like it requires a lot of patience at times. In any case, thank you for watching, and next time I'll be looking at 2 of the most beloved games in the series, and of all time, Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2.